a great use for these condiment bottles that you can get at Dollar General. Dollar Tree used to have them, and I think it came in a set at Dollar Tree, but I think they were smaller. And these were only 50 cents a piece at Dollar General, and they're bigger, so there you go. Anyway, back to the tip. I use these planters that have this little reservoir here. Let's see, right there. And that's where you're supposed to put your water. It helps you to not overwater your plants. Well, every time I pour water in there with like a pitcher or something like that, I tend to pour it everywhere. So I took one of these little condiment bottles, put water in it, and you just squirt in there however much you want. And it is mess free. So this is the time of year where people like to have barbecues and parties and pool parties, things like that in their backyard. And instead of taking out all of this stuff outside and letting it get warm and all of those things, and well, I'm kind of a germaphobe. I'm not a huge germaphobe, but I'm kind of a germaphobe. And so, like the Miracle Whip not being in a squeeze tube or anything, I wouldn't like this being out there with the lid kind of on, kind of off, those types of things. And while, like I said, I'm a bit of a germaphobe, there are solutions to that. So one of them really is pretty simple. You take a muffin pan and then take some little muffin liners. Get some out, and you put them in each little compartment, and then put your condiment in each compartment. Now, something else you could do with this is you could take it a step further. Like this one is a little bit bigger, and I would still put the liner in it. However, you could put like onion and tomato and pickles and, you know, all those things in a bigger one. Or if you have one that's got a lot of slots like I do, this is, I believe, a 12. Yeah, this is a 12, whereas this is a 6. I would put like one row would be tomatoes, onions, pickles, those types of things. The next row would be like mustard, ketchup, flavored mustard like honey mustard or things like that, mayo. Then the next row would be like relish and ranch and different other flavors that you may want to have on your hamburgers and hot dogs, like A1 or Heinz 57, or your own steak sauce that you make, or barbecue sauce or something like that. Which I don't have a barbecue sauce out here because I've been making my own, and well, I'm out of it right now. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, and I am babbling. So the basic idea is you get a muffin tin, you put liners in it, and then fill each one of your liners with however much condiments you want to put in there. And then it's super easy to clean up. After the day's over with, you just take it out and throw it in the trash. Now, you're thinking, okay, flies and all of those things. There's a way around that too. If you have one of those cupcake carriers, you could, that has the lid, you know, the plastic one that you put each individual cupcake in. If you have one of those now, you could use that, put your liners in it, put your condiments in it, and then put the plastic cover over it. No muss, no fuss, and no flies are messing with it. If you're like me and you don't have one of those, then you'd still use your cupcake tin, put your liners in it, and then get some plastic wrap and cover it up with plastic wrap. And what I always do with the plastic wrap is, wherever I started at, say I'm going to start it over here, I'll take that in and tuck it under pretty tight, and then say, you know, open from this end. That way both ends aren't open. You just open one and then put it back down over it. Flies are not getting in it, because that's a big one for me. I cannot stand flies touching my food, my drinks. I have to throw it out. I can't. But anyway, that's a super easy one that's helpful for this time of year. Now, on the same subject of the muffin tins, if you have like a fruit salad out, one way to do individual portions of fruit salad is these same cupcake liners. Put your fruit salad in there, and then instead of people having to spoon it out, they can just lift out one of the liners, their fruit salad's already in there, and put it on their plate and go. If at the end of it you're serving cake and ice cream because maybe it's a birthday party and you have children involved, what you could do in that situation is, I have 2 of these tins, so I would take the second one, I would put all the liners in it, and then I'd come in and get my ice cream and scoop it into each one of the liners. That way, when it's time for the kids to have their cake and ice cream, you put their cake on a plate, then you just pick up one of these, stick it on their plate, call it a day. And it's easy to clean up.